Muhammad Ali. I love Sugar Ray Leonard. I even love Mike Tyson. And you know my daddy and I don't get along about that topic. Watching the fight last weekend, reading and hearing the comments made about this fight last weekend, really tells you why boxing is the sport that it has become. Yes, Floyd Mayweather threw two punches that some people will deem as sucker punches because Ortiz was trying to say sorry, he was trying to apologize. And yes, in every locker room, in every boxing match, the referee tells you, protect yourself at all times. Protect yourself at all times. And that has become one of the two stories of this fight. Well, look, if Ortiz had not gone Mike Tyson-esque by trying to headbutt Mr. Mayweather, none of this would have happened. And yes, people will say, what do you mean by that? Well, in the Tyson-Holyfield fight, they say Tyson got desperate and he bit Holyfield's ear because he felt that he couldn't win the fight, so therefore, he felt he had to cheat. People say Holyfield is a headbutter, and he tried to headbutt Lennox Lewis in their fight. He headbutted Mike Tyson in both their fights. Ortiz knew he was about to get himself taken apart. And though, yes, Floyd Mayweather is supposed to be a champion, supposed to be a quote-unquote class champion, you can't expect boxers to show class when somebody's cheating. Do I like the way the fight ended? No. Do I like the way that he and Larry Merchant started arguing, which is the second part of the story? Heck no. Larry Merchant is better than that. Larry Merchant, yes, he did ask the question, and yes, Floyd Mayweather has a right to respond to it in the way he wants to. Floyd Mayweather feels that over the years, Larry Merchant has shown him no respect. He blames everything on everyone except for the simple fact of saying that Floyd Mayweather is just a darn good fighter. But for them to go at it like that after the fight is ridiculous. And whether you like Floyd Mayweather, whether you love Floyd Mayweather, or whether you hate Floyd Mayweather, he could care less what you think about him. And essentially, what happened that night, it just was a microcosm of his existence over the last few years. His right now, his world is so chaotic. With all the stuff he's got going on legally, this whole Pacquiao mess, they should have fought already. And then this fight Saturday night just was the pinnacle that is ruining what should be an epic career. Do I think he can beat Pacquiao? I really do. I really, truly do. I don't think I've ever seen a fighter defend like he defends. He never takes a shot. And he's so fast. I mean, he destroyed Marquez, who Pacquiao's about to fight. He's beaten the crap out of every fighter he's fought. There's never been a Floyd Mayweather fight that he's had where you've left a fight saying, wow, that could have gone the other way. Every fight that Floyd Mayweather has had, he has dominated. Yes, Manny Pacquiao has been beaten up on the old champions lately. But the fact of the matter remains, he can still fight, and we like saps will pay to see it. So, yes, Saturday night was a debacle. Yes, we all knew Mayweather was going to win this fight. Yes, Ortiz, he lost it a little bit. But I guess that's why. Floyd Mayweather is who he is. I really feel bad for Larry Merchant. He hasn't been calling too many fights lately. And to have himself thrown into this controversy, it'll be on again tomorrow night on HBO, so if you haven't seen it, you'll be able to watch it. It's a shame. And I want to give one more plug before I go forward in this bad section, too. Is if you are watching sporting events and you don't want to watch them at home, there's a great bar in downtown LA called Dublin's. Dublin's has about 30 televisions, 100 different types of beers. It's a good atmosphere. It's not Hollywood crowds. It's just regular people sort of hanging out, eating good food, drinking good beer, and watching sports. So if you're in the downtown area, it's right off of Figueroa and 7th Street, right next to the 7th Street Metro train station. Pop on in. Have yourself a pop. And tell them I sent you from KLASFM.com. Some more bad as we keep moving on. The Atlanta Braves and the Boston Boston Red Sox, I almost said Boston Celtics. The Boston Red Sox basically need an anchor, basically need a life buoy. And we have a call, and we'll take it on 89.7 KLS FM. Hello.
Richard.
What's up?
How are you?
Good, how are you? I was talking about your Miami team earlier.
Oh, cool. Miami Hurricanes, baby.
That's right. Took Ohio State's manhood.
That's right. And I hope you play them in a bowl game this year, too. To make them thorough, too. Anyway, the Dodgers, how do they have Matt Kemp, one of the best players in the game today, and they're not making the playoffs? Number one. Number two, who do you think is going to win the World Series this year?
Well, first of all, I think your first question is the best question I've been asked in a long time, because Matt Kemp right now is having a season for the ages, and he unfortunately is not going to get the MVP because voters are going to say the Dodgers aren't winning. But the Dodgers have been through so much chaos this year. For the fact that he and Kershaw both are having exemplary seasons lets you know how special a player they are, and next year they're going to be great. Before the season started, I predicted two teams are going to go to the World Series. I predicted it would be Detroit and Philadelphia. And right now both teams have made the playoffs, and so that's what I think is going to happen. I think Verlander is going to be the story. I think Detroit might win it all.
The Tigers?
The Tigers. Call me crazy.
Nice. I might go to Vegas on that one.
Well, if you do, win some money on me.
I'll give you a kickback, for sure.
Well, good to talk to you. 89.7 KLAS FM. Good phone calls coming in today. I like that. The Red Sox and the Braves. Well, somebody needs to throw them a life vest. Or they need to go on one of them shows and get a lifeline, because essentially both of those teams right now are treading water and cannot, for some reason, dump it enough fast enough out of the boat. I don't understand, what is happening in Atlanta and Boston. Injuries are a part of the game, and neither team is using it as an excuse. But the Red Sox pitching has been horrible. The Red Sox bullpen is exhausted. The Braves bullpen is exhausted. We talked about this last week. They have young pitchers in Atlanta who have never pitched at this time. They're missing a lot of their starting pitchers who are carrying them for the most part of the season. Dan Uggla, he's hitting all these home runs, but nobody's on base when he's scoring. Atlanta's in serious trouble and totally got bailed out yesterday. I'm a Met fan. I just couldn't believe that yesterday the Mets came from behind, down 6-2 in the ninth inning to win that game, 8-6. And I tell you something, St. Louis will say, well, it's just one game. Well, let me tell you something. That one game could be the difference between you going to the postseason and not. And now Atlanta is playing Steven Strasburg tonight. And Washington just swept 4 games from the Phillies. And the Cardinals have the easiest schedule. They're playing the Cubs, who already have 100 losses, and the Astros, who have 100 losses. Atlanta, you're in serious trouble, and I love every second of it. And as far as the Red Sox are concerned, look, Boston, you've owned the Yankees all season long. Get it done. If you can't get it done,